Oh boy, what an event this was. I'm John Renton with the Retro View World Class Championship Wrestling Cotton Bowl Extravaganza 3 from October 12th, 1986. This comes from Classic Wrestling Stuff on YouTube, and there's also 4 Wrestling Fans and a few other channels that have territorial events like this and are keeping the memories alive because they may never make it to Peacock, or if they do, it's going to be years down the road. So I'm grateful for YouTube channels like this keeping territories alive, like AWA, Georgia Championship Wrestling for Florida, World Class. Even when World Class was really on the decline like this event, dear God, this event wasn't very good for a variety of reasons. One, the attendance was really goddamn down. There was a storm, it was raining, and they drew about, just under 6,000 people when last year's event, or, the 1985 event, not last year's event because World Class has been defunct for a while, had 26,000 people. So yeah, the weather may have been a factor, and also the fact that, the company was really going downhill in a goddamn steep decline. It had just fallen off a cliff, and it was falling, and it was Homer Simpsoning the goddamn thing, all the way down, and there was no way to bring them back up. They weren't just going to bonk their head into the cliff and then fall back down. World Class was done by this point. And it's really sad because they still had some talent, but there was just nothing to this show. And then more tragedy was strike. Went about, I think, 6 months after this, maybe not even quite 6 months after Mike Von Erich would unfortunately take his life, and just really, really sad, all the stuff that happened in World Class. Mark Lawrence does the ring introductions. Bill Mercer does the commentary. We have the Grappler versus Scott Casey. The crowd was kind of silent, which may have had something to do with the weather, and also the fact that, only about 6,000 people, or just a little bit less, in a very big football stadium. Look up the Cotton Bowl attendance, or, the capacity rather, and look up the attendance of some of the games. Yeah, you could tell that World Class, they may have actually been able to get a cut on rent at that point, but still, that was a really, really small crowd for a big fucking football stadium. And then, match is okay, we get wrestles, then we get a Bulldog 1, 2, 3. And Bill Mercer interviews Steve Simpson and Dingo Warrior. Yes, Ultimate Warrior before he became the Ultimate Warrior. And I want to say once again, fuck the Ultimate Warrior. I'm glad he's dead. What he said about Bobby Heenan and Hurricane Katrina victims and a whole bunch of other stuff, I don't fucking care. Guy's a goddamn piece of shit. I can't wait to tear into him again when they do a Dark Side of the Ring thing on him. But yeah, was Steve Simpson stoned? That is the question I kept asking myself. I said in my Parade of Champions 3 review, but he reminded me of Justin Gabriel just with less charisma and more stoned. And the Dingo is mad. That was an actual line said by the Dingo Warrior. Even at this point, he was ego-stroking himself to the goddamn moon. It was amazing. The Dingo is going to get revenge. The Dingo is not going to let the people down. You let the people down by continuing to wrestle, you goddamn brain-dead right-wing twat. Yeah, I don't like the Ultimate Warrior. Can you fucking tell that? Anyway, so we get a tag team match because of Steve Simpson and the Dingo Warrior taking on Matt Underage Girl, Toucher Bourne, and Buzz Sawyer. Read up about Matt Bourne, the original Doink. If it hadn't been for him doing something really goddamn stupid that he shouldn't have done, because you shouldn't be, somebody doing that to children, somebody underage, they're still a child, then if it hadn't been for that, then the Road Warriors wouldn't have been around. So thanks, Matt Bourne, for being a goddamn creep, because we got the Road Warriors, which were better on their worst day than you were ever on your best. An Evil Clown was one thing, but Matt Bourne was a goddamn piece of... Read up on him. He's not a good guy. Anyway, Percy Pringle, by the way, was in the corner of the heels. That was the future Paul Bearer, by the way, in case you don't know. Sunshine was in the corner of Dingo Warrior and Steve Simpson, and Sunshine looked like she was left out on the goddamn sun, because I don't know what happened to her. She aged 10 years in 2. And look, I get it. Life on the road's got to be tough. I've never been GQ, but my God, I think the toll of the company and everything was just wearing down on everybody. This was a tag title match, by the way. This shows you the state of the tag team division. And you thought the tag team divisions in WWE were bad. Buzz Fuzzy Boots. That's what he was. Buzzy Fuzzy Wuzzy Boots. So, Warrior was always shit. Didn't want to sell, didn't want to do anything right. Press slammed the Buzz over the top onto who the fuck, Matt Bourne. I totally forgot because I was so angry thinking about what he did. DQ got called. Brawl afterwards, briefly. Bad match. Really bad. And then Crusher Yurkov. Bam Bam Bigelow. They made him a Russian. Why did they make Bam Bam Bigelow a Russian? He took on Brian Adias. Brian Adias got a lot of work in World Class. He must have been friends with the Von Erichs. Nothing against the guy, it's just he was kind of generic, so he must have known somebody. So it wasn't good. They tried. Splash by Yurkov. Bam Bam. I'm just going to call him Bam Bam. 1, 2, 3. Then Mike and Fritz talk about the next match. Bless Mike, but he should have not been in the goddamn ring. The Lord saved Mike, or says, Mike, you got to be well. It's just sad. Mike would pass away 6 months later. Really is sad. If you watch the documentary, The Dark Side of the Ring on World Class, I mean, they did 3 in the first season, about the last of the Von Erichs. You read up about Mike, it's just really sad. I mean, if you hear it in the documentaries. But you hear a little bit of stuff you didn't hear before about how his brain was just fried. Just really a shame. And he thanks the fans, in a promo. And then we get Mike Von Erich versus Spike Johnson. I don't know what he is, but I'm going to call him generic big man number 4,000. And Mike won with the Sunset Flip. Chris and Mark Youngblood took on the Batten twins, Brad and Bart. If you read up about the Batten twins, it's actually really a shame, when one of them died. And how they found out about they found each other after, leaving wrestling and everything and kind of growing apart. But since they were twins, they had that synergy. I don't know who the faces were. It didn't really matter. Chris and his weird hair, one with a German suplex. It was. Who am I to talk about somebody's hair? But anyway, Ricky Steamboat, yes, and the Mighty Zulu were cut. That was a match that was cut. Rick Steamboat was under contract to WWE, but I guess was given he was given a chance to wrestle there. I don't remember the exact. I think George Scott might have actually been the booker at this point, because George Scott had known Ricky Steamboat, and then Ricky went there, and I don't know how the match was. I don't really care, because this was a time before Ricky Steamboat would suffer the throat injury and then would have the terrific goddamn match against Randy Savage at Mania 3. Kevin Von Erich took on Black Bart. It's a World Class Wrestling Association Heavyweight Championship match. And man, it was nighttime. The sun crashed. Kerry was in Kevin's corner. This was right before, I think, his motorcycle accident. It wasn't exactly great. Bart was a good territorial worker, but he was not world champion material. Kevin does do the body scissors, that leg scissors with his strength. He did, they use for a finish. Really good stuff. Bart did hit a few moves, but Kevin hit a splash 1, 2, 3. Von Erich is world champion because they got away from the NWA because, Kerry didn't keep his bookings and they had to take the title away and they didn't trust anybody. I don't blame them. Anyway, Kevin celebrates, family's there, and then other faces show up backstage for a champagne celebration in the sky. Actually, just around a whole bunch of guys. Parents are happy. Mike and Chris join, and Chris tried, but it just wasn't going to work because of a variety of reasons. Health reasons. Abdullah the Butcher versus Gary Hart. That would have been a cage match I would like to have seen. Versus Bruiser Brody. Steel cage match. Fritz Von Erich as the referee. He has a white shirt so the blood can splatter on him. And Abdullah the Butcher. The man that cried crocodile tears when he saw Bruiser Brody footage right at the end of the murder of Bruiser Brody Dark Side of the Ring episode. Remember the guy that actually knew that people had killed Bruiser Brody and didn't do anything about it because he had an ownership in Puerto Rico and he was a goddamn greedy bastard, and I didn't fucking believe him one goddamn bit. Check out my review of that, by the way, if you want to hear the full story. Well, we got blood, and then Abdullah brought out his fork because he couldn't fucking wrestle at all because he was a goddamn human waterbed and a piece of shit, and I don't feel bad for any of the shit he's going through. Fritz got involved. He forks him violently, and then Brody gets the win. And then Fritz forks Abdullah and Gary Hart. That's the end of the show. One hardly needs to go on about much of the stuff in World Class at this point, but I will. Because the 4th Parade of Champions and I believe the 4th Cotton Bowl Extravaganza are on YouTube, at least as, complete as possible. So I will be reviewing those, because why the hell not? I'm probably not going to dive into the weekly TV, because I do not have that much time. But what the fuck? It's fun to do. Anyway, agree, disagree with what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.